Okay, so in this example, we're looking at a 4-hour buyer's territory. I've put it in for you right over here. Okay, that's the 4 hours buyer's territory, followed by, that's the guy who started the whole show. Okay, in this buyer's territory, we're looking for obviously the opposite party. We're looking for sellers to come in so we can eventually buy. Now, here's a problem. If you're counting sellers from here and you're saying, now that's a seller, that's a pullback, that's a seller, that's a pullback, that's a seller. Okay, V formation. Well, that V formation doesn't work right there. Okay, if you say, okay, well, that's a stop loss. Okay, here's a real V formation. Okay, I'm going to pull back and then I'm going to buy it. Well, that buy doesn't work. Also, it comes down even lower. But then if you look on, the buy still works out though. But why is it all the buy attempts are not working out? It's because the buy is not enough from the sellers. You need the sellers to come in. Okay? So here again, you're the person, you and I were looking to buy 1,000 pieces of cell phones, and we're willing to pay a higher and higher and higher price. And at this point, we're still willing to pay a higher price, right? We're still up in there. So if we think just in a simple story, is up at this price, everyone is a buyer because everyone's looking at this like the market's going up, it must be a buy. If we move it a little bit further, they're still thinking it's a buy. If we move it like that a little bit, they're still thinking it's a buy. Why? Because if I put the line right there, wouldn't that be support equals resistance buy for them, those basic technical traders? So they're still looking at it as a buy. It's not until there's some sort of mass panic in the market, okay? He tried to make a lower low and he went up. It's like, could that be a real sell in there? I don't know. It was too short, too small for people to notice. And as we go further, you can see for the longest time, this area has been holding, right? It's been holding, 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 and then kaboom, a drop below it. That's going to get people's attention. That's going to get people saying, well, look how long it took to go up from here. He never went up. Now it's coming down. I think the buy is dead. It must be a sell. And then people start thinking sell biased. For you, that's fantastic because you're like, good. Not only do I have the store owner selling, we got every Tom, Dick, and Harry selling to me. And now you can come in and say, good. Now that there's a lot of competition in selling, I can buy it at the very low price. Okay? So now what we're looking for is the patterns to appear now. Sellers are coming in, they're pulling back, they're coming in, boom. It's like, okay, is that my V formation? Can I hit that for a buy? Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, any test from that V formation for a buy takes you right to the top. Okay, let me move this, sorry. Takes you right to the top of your take profit area. Okay, but then he still doesn't really make a higher high, so it's still a confusing state of mind. It's like, is he still needs to go down more? Well, I made some money on the first trade, but what's happening? Why is he holding still? We know it's definitely buyer's market. Let's see if he wants to come down again. Okay, he goes down, pulls back, goes down. We're like, nothing really. Is that the next V formation there? What's going on? Now we have to read it in terms of supply and demand. We're like, okay, the high became lower, which means the buyer was not interested, but the seller had to give a discount to attract more buyers. But over here, we're noticing the buyers are buying it at a higher and a higher price every time, as if they know the store owner will give them a discount, but they're still willing to buy it at a higher price. But they're fighting the battle. So the store owner is not letting too much discount in, and the buyers are willing to buy it at a higher price, but then they let go once they reach a certain area. That's how a wedge is formed. Okay? It's like a wedge situation here. Okay, however you want to draw it. It's like that, where it's starting to squeeze. A squeeze happens because of that reason. Okay, we're seeing this pattern now, so we're like, can he actually make a lower low and then go up? Is that lower low possible? Or are these signs of, I think my buyer is there, I just think he's trying to fill in more orders, which means now it's just a matter of time. Okay, we're going to watch it closely, closely and carefully. Got another spike down here, and then it prepares to go. So it's like that's the V formation there. Boom, goes up. No higher high again. Reaches back to your profit area, but no higher high. It doesn't make brand new highs. It's like, what's going on? What's going on? Comes down again, comes in, but look at this. Look at this design here. Okay, leaves you a big wick and then starts to come in hot. Very, very red bars, right? Okay, do you think that might get people interested in selling again? Maybe, but we know our buyer keeps gobbling up the price from this area, like as if this thing now has turned into a range. Prices never went higher, prices never went lower. This is turning into a range with the idea of reading through it and understanding the situation all along the way, and you just read the entire story from within the range. Okay, and that activates your buys. Okay, so it took a while to get through to it, went through all that situation, and then the buys finally happened. Okay, so not all the time will it happen like that. There are times when the buys are just so powerful and they'll have enough. For example, if I say that's buyer's territory and we're like looking at this, we're like, okay, well, that's the V formation. The test didn't take off from here. He came lower. But that low, if we still look at it, is like, man, that's so small, that lower low. I don't know if the world panicked into selling in that. Because it's so high up there, everyone's still looking to buy it. So we don't have sellers that we can buy from. Right? So if there's no sellers, so sometimes the market will leave ahead of time, and that's okay. What I like to say in those moments, that's not our trade. Okay, that's really high risk trading right there. That's not our trade. We don't want to be messing with those things. We want to know the story for sure. We need to see the reaction of how the big boy plays his game. It is only then we can start to understand that, okay, I get what he's trying to do, and I'm in on it, and I'm going to be with him on his next step. Okay? All right, so I'll see you guys next week, and we'll resume from there. Cheers.